What's up, everybody? It's your boy Big O back in the building with yet another brand new video. I'd just like to take a second to say thank you to everyone who's tuning in, and I hope all of you are having a glorious day. And before you, we see my adult male Claudius angustatus. It's a narrow bridge musk turtle, and he's just hanging out. I just fed him, and he's trying to hunt down the last of the pellets. So he's very excited right now. But today's video is going to be all about my hatchling striped neck musk turtles. I'm going to talk about, how they've been living, what they've been eating. Definitely going to show them off a little bit, and I'm going to talk about what my plans or what I would like to do with them in the future when they get a little size to them. So if we dip down here, this is the plastic tote that I've been keeping them in. This is a pretty heavy duty container. In regard to any other container that's comparable to it, these are usually the ones that are the strongest and that will most likely be holding water the best, because these things, none of them really meant to hold water, and eventually they probably will spring a leak, but chances are these are probably going to last a little bit longer than most. These are actually the ones that come with the yellow lids, but been using it, haven't had any issues yet. And these two corners are the filters. These are the Whisper I-40, I think they're called. But for such a small enclosure and for this volume of water, I think they do a pretty decent job. As you can see, I have a little extra filtration. It's supposed to only come with one of the blue cartridges, but I put two. Then I put this other filter pad in the back to sort of collect the larger particulate, because this is a lot more porous than these two are. Same thing right back here. And then as you can see, we have the same, furniture that I've been using the whole time, the half log hide that they love to use, and these two pieces of driftwood and some fake plants, and somewhere in there, which you can't see because of the glare, are two moss balls, which are the only live plants that we have in here. Which they're really not plants, but that's a whole other story. And up here we have my this is the heat, and that one right there is the UVB. As you can see, they are pretty good distance away. If I put my hand here, you can kind of see how far it is. And this setup seems to be working out just fine. So it's simple, but it gets the job done. Eventually, I would definitely like to get these two hatchlings in the group with my other three, and obviously I'd have to upgrade their enclosure, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. But what we've all been waiting for are, here's the first one right here. See if I can get a good shot of him. There we go. Oh, they're strong too. He almost jumped out. Gotta hold tight. But they look good. They've been eating well. They're super chunky. They will definitely try to bite if you hold on too long also, which is not a bad sign. It just means that they got some spunk to them. But there it is. Hopefully it's a she. Hopefully they're both she's, because don't really recommend housing too many male musk turtles together, because they will fight. So hopefully, fingers crossed, they're both female. Hopefully I can show the plastron a little bit. Very orange. Oh, so I'm just gonna let this one go right here. And he's just, or hopefully, like I said, she is just gonna scoot away and try to hide. So we're gonna go grab the next one, which is in this little container, hiding under this little plastic plant. I just put the plastic plant over them so they can kind of just get that little feeling of security so they won't totally freak out. But here's the other one. There we go, much better. And at this point, I don't really have any real way to tell them apart. To me, they look exactly alike. Hopefully, as they grow, they will develop more of, some sort of distinguishing characteristics so I can easily tell them apart. My other three, I have no problem telling them apart from one another. I can tell them apart pretty much from across the room as soon as I glance at them. So I'm pretty sure as these grow, they'll definitely develop some sort of, pattern or something that lets me know exactly which one it is as soon as I look. Because, like I said, right now they do look exactly alike. It's a nice little close-up. Love these little guys. Striped necks are definitely amongst my favorites, species-wise. I'm probably gonna end up getting some more at some point, because 5 is just not enough. And when I do start producing my own, it's definitely gonna be tough letting these guys go, because once you get your hands on them, it's like, come on. Look at that thing. Unbelievable. So yeah, we're gonna let him or her or whatever go as well, because I already know they're super freaked out, because I really don't mess around with them very much. Kind of just leave them alone, let them do their thing. I'm always paranoid about them getting too. Oop, that's not gonna work. I'm always paranoid about them getting too stressed out and like not eating or something. So I really don't handle them very much at all. Only when I do full cleanouts. So I'm just gonna pop this right back in there, and that'll be that. So next, I'm gonna run over to the freezer because I gotta grab a couple of things out of there. Because I'm gonna show what it is that I've been feeding them. So stick with me, and I'll be right back in just a second. And we are back. As you can see here before you, we have my sub-adult male striped neck musks. I'm back at the other striped neck musk tank, the 40-gallon breeder that's next to the other 40-gallon breeder with my male Scambia map turtle, who's somewhere back there looking for the rest of his food. But eventually what I want to do is, if I take a step back, you'll see that this stand is actually one of those 6-foot long stands. So what I really want to do is get a 120-gallon tank, place it on this stand, and house all 5 of my striped neck musks together. And depending on how that goes, I'll probably try to add 1 or 2 more turtles. But it's gonna take a while because they are hatchlings, and they don't grow that quickly. So in the meantime, things will just have to stay the way they are. And if you notice back there, that's my younger female. Right here is, again, he's the male. And then down there, that's the oldest female. They're all kind of just hanging out because they all just ate. They all just stuffed their faces. They even left a few pellets laying around, but I'm gonna give them some time because sometimes they go back and finish off a little later. So before I come back and clean all this up, I'm just gonna give them maybe another half hour or so. But speaking of turtles eating, I want to show off what I've actually been feeding the hatchlings, and probably make a couple of recommendations about what I think you should feed your hatchling, especially if it's a carnivorous turtle, because you know all baby turtles are gonna need that protein so they can grow nice and strong. And there is the male going up for a breath. But you know, being that these animals are pretty much completely carnivorous, they're gonna need that extra little kick of protein because that's what they live off of. So what I have here is my omega-1 juvenile turtle pellets. I really like these because one, of the ingredients, and two, the size of the pellet. The size is pretty much perfect for really, really small turtles, such as my hatchlings. And if you take a look on the back of the label, you have your protein at 39%, which is pretty good. And if you look at the ingredients, you got whole salmon, whole herring, and black cod. Then you have your, you know, fillers and supplements and vitamins and minerals and so on and so forth. But one thing you got to keep in mind is that on any ingredient label, the first few, you know, 5-6 ingredients or so are the primary, the most important ingredients. And being that the first three, the first two are whole fish, and the third is more fish, you know, it's an indicator that this is a quality product. So, you know, I kind of sounded like I'm making a commercial for them, but it's just, you know, it's the truth. And I really do like using these pellets. All different kind of omega-1 products. If you take a look at any of my videos, I'm talking about turtle pellets and what to feed your turtles, you'll see me. I mean, you'll hear me speak more about why I like these and why I use these. But moving on, we have frozen brine shrimp. And as you can see, the pack is almost gone. They really seem to enjoy this stuff. It must have a very strong scent because as soon as I toss the cube in the water, they jet straight for it. It really must stand out. But yeah, they go right after it, and you know, seems to be working out. So brine shrimp, it's not too expensive. It's not the cheapest thing, but it's definitely not expensive. And you know, it's frozen, so it'll definitely last a long time. So some good stuff. And another thing I got sitting in my freezer are, of course, bloodworms. These are pretty much a go for any hatchling turtle. Most people already know that, but just figured I showed it off anyway. And as you can see, this one's almost gone as well. They've been eating very well. I'm very pleased with the results. And they've definitely put on a little bit of size. They're definitely active. They look healthy. They behave healthy. They are, you know, they have a great appetite. So things seem to be working out very well. And it's very difficult for me to actually get footage of the hatchlings. So, you know, I was going to try to get some more footage of them now, but I'm sure they're still a little freaked out for me taking them out of the tank and holding them so long and putting them back. So at this point, I'm probably just going to, you know, toss in a few clips of any footage that I can get of them doing whatever it is they're doing. Most likely eating, because that's when they are least scared to come out, because they're greedy little buggers. And as I said, he went back and he started eating more pellets. I know these guys like the back of my hand. But anyways, so yeah, I'm gonna just throw in a couple of those clips, and after the clips, we'll be back once again.
And we're back. Like I said, I try to disturb him as little as possible, so really that's the best I could do right now for, you know, any sort of entertaining footage of the hatchlings. But once again, you know, thank you everyone for tuning in. I really appreciate the time. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Hit that notification bell. You already know. And until the next one, happy reptile keeping. Peace.